This is Crystal Fenn with MedPage Today. A series of studies released in the New England Journal of Medicine is creating an even bigger buzz behind the novel ALK inhibitor crizotinib for non-small cell lung cancer. Dr. Roy Herbst of the MD Anderson Cancer Center explained what all the excitement is about.
Well, I think that this is a real breakthrough in lung cancer therapy because crizotinib in the right patient who has a specific genetic rearrangement which can be tested, these patients have extraordinary results. The tumors will shrink in about 60% of the cases and will remain stable another 30 to 35% of the time. So basically what we have is we have a group of patients with lung cancer, about 5%, who have this specific genetic abnormality, and then they can be targeted with a very specific drug which produces phenomenal results. And this is important because it really speaks to how we're going to try to treat this disease that occurs in more than 200,000 Americans each year, now in much more specific and less toxic ways. And this is just one of several examples in recent years of understanding the biology of lung cancer and using that understanding to really kill the tumor by getting its Achilles heel. And this is certainly a very important result.
The relatively small proportion of lung cancer patients who carry this specific mutation targeted by crizotinib didn't do much to dampen this enthusiasm.
When lung cancer is such a deadly disease, the #1 cause of cancer death worldwide, over 200,000 patients will die of lung cancer in the United States each year, and over 1 million worldwide. So if we can take 5% of those patients and identify that they have this specific genetic rearrangement, and then treat them with crizotinib, where with very few side effects they'll see their tumors simply melt away, I think that's a big advance. Now, we have to do well for the other groups of patients as well, but 5% of patients in the United States still are 10,000 patients a year who could benefit from this, which is on the order of the number of patients who benefit from therapy for leukemia, for example.
Crizotinib is remarkable for the speed with which it has gone through development as well.
For example, in a disease like chronic myelogenous leukemia, the rearrangement, the Philadelphia chromosome, was known in the 60s and 70s, and it wasn't for 30 or more years before a drug was found that could target those patients with great effect. I think it's incredible how fast this has developed in lung cancer, and it speaks to the new clinical trial science and biology. Basically, only a few years ago, a group in Japan noted that patients with lung cancer had this rearrangement. By that I mean that the ALK tyrosine kinase had moved within the cell to be next to a different gene, so that it was actually causing those lung tumors to grow. So with that early recognition, and then with the availability of crizotinib, very quickly the researchers who were involved in the trial put together the fact that there was a group of patients who benefited. I think this is only possible because we have started in recent years to obtain tissue on all patients with lung cancer and analyze it. And this is because we have other things we can do for these patients as well. For example, 5 years ago we learned about the epidermal growth factor receptor gene. So now in patients with lung cancer, about 15 to 20% of the patients now will have specific molecular therapies that we can use to treat their tumor. Now here at MD Anderson we're very interested in what to do about the other 80%. And that's why we're continuing to do research to look for new genes and new markers and new drugs and to match them together and even explore combinations.
Although crizotinib has further hurdles ahead of it before it becomes a mainstream therapy available in the clinic, Herbst noted that already it and other targeted therapies are transforming lung cancer care. I'm Crystal Fenn, MedPage Today.